From the banks of the Hudson River on the campus of the United States Military Academy at West Point, it's time for the home opener for the Army West Point Black Knights, the reigning Collegiate Sprint Football League champions. Tonight, it's the visiting Molloy University Lions, 1-1 on the season, taking on those reigning champion Army West Point Black Knights, 1-0 on the year, coming off a bye week, getting ready to start their home schedule in 2025. Alongside Scott Graham, I'm Justin Rock. Glad to have you with us on KnightVision on YouTube. Army West Point getting ready to start their home schedule tonight. Molloy has won the opening coin toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff here today. But alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. Ross, frustrating opening game for the Black Knights a couple of weeks ago against Chestnut Hill. Not quite as clean a game as they would have liked, but a victory nonetheless on the road.
You're right, Justin. It was a little bit more challenging. A few lessons to go through, a little bit of challenging terrain, challenging weather, which we can talk about as the night goes on. But the bottom line is here we are at Shea Stadium at West Point, ready for a great night, great weather, and the team's ready to go.
And Molloy University trying to win back-to-back games for the first time in program history. Molloy, just their second year of existence, lost all 7 games they played last year, lost the opening game of this season, a tight one, but then a 16-6 win against Cornell last week to secure their first win in program history. Last year, Army won soundly on the road, 63-7. So we'll see what this year's edition has in store as the Lions make their first ever visit here to Shea Stadium. So we're just about ready to get this one underway. Alex Perrine will kick things off for the Black Knights. For the Lions back to receive, you've got Noah Jabbour to the near side and to the far side of the field today. You've got number 1, that is Jalen Gordon. So Perrine ready to let it fly. The lefty kicks it off, and we're underway here on this Friday night from the foothills of Bear Mountain. On the return, it is Gordon out across the 25, knocked down just shy of the 30-yard line. Will be spotted at the Molloy 29-yard line, and so the Lions will take over first down and 10 inside their own territory. The Lions led by their quarterback, junior Paulie Drummond the fifth, the Keystone College transfer, coming into play today, has rushed over 100 yards this season, has thrown for over 100 yards this year. Dual threat guy the Black Knights have to keep their eyes on, Ross.
We'll get to see Luke Petkus lead as the team captain on this defensive line, on this defensive side of the ball here as the Black Knights defense gets its first home field game of the year.
Marquise Dixon, the feature back for the Lions on this opening possession. Under center, a fumbled snap there from Drummond, and he just has to fall on top of it. Was not a clean snap there at all from Molloy University, and not the start they were looking for, as the quarterback just had to belly flop on the football, a loss of 1.
And no, what happened a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, that is, as well, as the Black Knight defense was able to get CHC behind the chains on the first drive and giving Black Knights momentum back. So Molloy is going to want to look to stay ahead of the chains here and not let that happen for them as well.
Especially when you consider this a team playing against one of the league's best, their first ever road visit here to Shea Stadium. Drummond now in shotgun. Gordon across the formation, left to right. Little shovel pass to Gordon, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Looked like Zion Sims, who had a fantastic game 2 weeks ago, against Chestnut Hill, makes the play in the backfield. And Ross, already 2 plays for Molloy offensively, and both times behind the sticks.
This is what the Army defense prides himself on. Like you said, there was senior linebacker Zion Sims, a true leader of that linebacker front there. A great game 2 weeks ago and already off to a great start here as well.
Drummond will come out in shotgun. Dixon lined up, split to his right. 3 receivers over to the far side. 3rd down and 14, back at their own 25-yard line. Drummond takes the snap, throws it out to the far side. Making the catch out there is Vaughn Washington. Picks up a good chunk of yardage, but will be tripped up shy of the 40-yard line and shy of the first down marker. So a good pickup there on 3rd down, but it'll be 4th down and about maybe say 3 or 4 yards. You're not going to give it 4th down and 2. So they picked up 13 there on 3rd down and 14 or so. And so 4th and a short 2. And Molloy going to go for it here. Deep inside their own territory. No, actually, they're going to send out the punting unit. And right before they snap the ball, the flag flies from the back judge.
We're going to call that an illegal formation there on the Molloy Lions, bringing them back 5 more yards.
I wonder if Molloy trying to catch Army napping there a little bit. Trying to get a little exotic to come up with that. Maybe a fake punt there to try and get things going on that possession. But it'll be Timmy Stosko to punt it away. A low bouncing kick taken in the backfield or all the way back inside Army territory by Arbogast. And he'll make the return out towards the Army 40-yard line, and that's where Kyle West and the Black Knights will take over their first possession of the ball game with 12:37 to go in this first quarter. Ross, through the first couple of plays of this game, Army defense off to a fantastic start.
You could not have asked for anything better. Zion there, key linebacker there, made a great play there. Zion's a leader, like you said. He had a great game 2 weeks ago. Coming up with what wasn't on the stat sheet, nearly an interception as well. He totally controlled the defense there. Here's our offense now for a chance to score some points.
So Kyle West is out there, rolls left. His first pass is low and incomplete. Intended for the intended receiver Marek Arbogast. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 upcoming. This is an Army offense that looks a little bit different than it did a year ago. Arthur Lavallee, the star running back, not on the roster here this year. J.P. Ross has taken over as the lead running back. He takes the handoff there out towards the Army 45-yard line. About a 5-yard gain there on 2nd down. And should be 3rd and manageable here for the Black Knight offense.
JP is totally a powerful runner. He's certainly earned his starting spot here. He's a great runner, great leader of that running back room there. That's very talented, very deep this year as well.
Army was 6 of 13 on 3rd down 2 weeks ago. Pass out to the near side, complete to J.P. Ross, but didn't have a whole lot of room to work with. Chris Perrone comes up with the stop. Just a 1-yard gain there. And it'll be 4th down and 4 for Army inside their own territory. And the Black Knight offense stayed out there for just a moment, but the head coach of the Black Knights, retired Lieutenant Colonel Mark West, bringing the Black Knights offense off the field, and Perrine will come out to punt it away.
Credit there to Molloy. They were stagnant with their defense, able to get a 3 and out. Now they'll get the ball back as well.
So Perrine all the way back to punt it away. Molloy with 2 returnees back to receive this one, Jabor and Gordon. Jabor going to call for a fair catch and stumbling down, able to make the snag at the Molloy 20-yard line. So for Army West Point, about a 45-yard punt there from Perrine. And the Lions will take over 1st and 10 with 11:23 to go in the first quarter. And Ross, a frustrating first drive for the Black Knights, specifically through the air. J.P. Ross, a good run on 2nd down, but only 1 yard through the air on that drive.
Right. There's still a lot of offensive weapons learning to click together. No worries. The offense will get going right after this.
And not to mention that Mark Parker Williams, team's leading receiver in their first game, not in the lineup today for the Black Knights, as Drummond enveloped by the Army defensive line. Jake Oxidine coming up with the sack there. He was one of the players in the backfield for the Black Knights, and so far, when Drummond drops back to pass, Army's defensive line has been able to bring the pressure, only rushing 4 there. And not only was it Oxidine that made a play in the backfield, you had Tyrus Carter there as well.
The Army defense loves to get you behind the chains on 1st down, forcing now another long 2nd down from Molloy.
Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13 at their own 17-yard line. Dixon in the backfield, Drummond in a pistol formation. Fakes the handoff to Dixon. Drummond keeps it running right, and he is met by a couple of defenders at the 20-yard line. Both Sarge and Batson were the ones that got there first. Drummond able to flop over the 20-yard line, about a 5-yard gain or so on 2nd down. And it'll be 3rd down and just inside of 10 here with just over 10 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Trey Batson, like you just mentioned, he's already the season's leading tackler for the Black Knight defense. You'll hear his name all night long.
Yeah, Batson had 6 tackles, including one in the backfield last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, in the season opener. Drummond in shotgun. Dixon to his left. 3rd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Takes the snap, passes it out near side to Gordon. And it's Lou Petkis who comes up with the stop at about the 25-yard line. So about a 3-yard gain there on 3rd down and 8. And that not going to be nearly enough to move the sticks. And so for the second time today, the Lions will go 3 and out.
And we'll get to see Merrick Arbogast back to return the punt. Just a freshman, but that man is a speedster. Super talented. He's getting his first start also on offense like we saw last drive. Let's see if he can return this one for some positive yards here.
Local kid from Highland Falls. The snap over the head of the punter. Picked up by Stosko. Has just enough time to let it fly. It's a low line drive kick, and it takes a great Molloy bounce. Oh, my goodness. Couldn't have asked for anything better with the snap over his head. It's going to be touched down by Aiden Das, the reigning CSFL Rookie of the Week, and what a difference that was. It lands all the way down at the 35-yard line of Army. That ball bounced right at about midfield. That was about a foot or so too tall for the punter, and all the way back towards the goal line to grab it and let it fly. And a tremendous job by Molloy and the punter there to able to get those yards back. Black Knights on their first play from scrimmage, and J.P. Ross shoots right up the gut and picks up a big chunk for the Black Knights. It'll be 2nd down and short.
JB's an exceptional north-south runner there through the A-gap. You'll see that all night.
Weston shotgun, Ross to his left. Fakes the handoff, pass out to the far side. Arbogast makes the catch. That's the first of his career. He'll pick up the 1st down. Out across midfield and spotted down just shy of the Molloy 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Black Knights at the plus 47-yard line. First play on the other side of midfield today. Little jet sweep action for Ross running out to the near sideline. And Ross ultimately brought down. Good tackle along the near edge by Anthony Stanko. But J.P. Ross, a good chunk gain on 1st down. And Black Knights will have 2nd down and 5 at their Molloy 42. West takes the snap, looking left, throws it deep down the left sideline. A penalty marker is thrown. Overshot the intended receiver, Kaysen Mackey. But a flag was thrown while that ball was in the air, and it was in the vicinity of a potential pass interference or holding call on either side.
I'd love to see Kyle airing it out there early on.
Just had a bit too much air underneath it there, looking for Mackey, and it will be a penalty against Molloy. Might have been a defensive holding call, and I think it is. So they spot it 5 yards further down the field at the 37-yard line. And that will be a Black Knight 1st down. So 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line after the defensive holding call. Ross split to Kyle West's left. The junior takes a snap. Back to pass, goes deep again over the middle. Finds his receiver, McFadden, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Kyle West to Kaysen McFadden, the former quarterback, makes the catch, his first career touchdown reception, and with 8:02 to go in the first quarter, the Black Knights strike first. They have a 6-0 lead.
Carson was wide open on that play. Easy throw and catch, Kyle to Carson. Cool quarterback there duo. Great first score on the home field for the Black Knights there in this season.
Longest pass play of the season so far for the Black Knights. A 37-yard strike from West to McFadden. McFadden now on a hold as the PAT try will come from Cueto. The snap from the long snapper, Fillion. And the PAT up and true. And with 8:02 to go in the first quarter, Army a 7-0 lead. And Ross didn't see the passing game click on all cylinders a couple of weeks ago against Chestnut Hill. We take a look back at that last pass play. First time got the pass interference call. Second time they get the long feed to Carson McFadden, and really felt like on that play, Ross, that West had any choice of receivers. Arbogast was down there too.
Right, Merrick was there open also. Carson was literally wide open. Defensive miscommunication there by the Lions. Great job there also by the offensive line. They call themselves the Pigs, led by offensive team captain Chance Pogue, their center. Gave Kyle all sorts of time there. Easy throw and catch, easy first touchdown for the Black Knights.
And that's something that has been a hallmark of this program throughout Lieutenant Colonel Mark West's tenure here at West Point, and that has been great offensive lines, great blocking for not only the quarterback but the running back, and it has produced a very effective offense for so many years. And the Black Knights letting it fly, able to convert, and Army an early 7-0 lead as it'll be Perrine to punt it away for the Black Knights back towards Molloy. And this is going to be a critical offensive possession for the Lions, Ross, when you consider their first 2 drives, only 1 of their 6 plays able to net positive yards. This one off the left foot of Perrine, taken by Gordon at about the Molloy 3-yard line. He gets walloped just past the 20-yard line. Looked to be Samuel Curtis who put the punishment on. And the Lions will come out for their 3rd drive of the game with 7:56 on the first quarter clock.
It's going to be crucial here for the Lions to get a net gain. Expect a rush here. They just don't want to drop back from a sack again, which would drop them back behind their own 20-yard line, though. The Lions, again, crucial that they get some first down yards here.
So here comes Paulie Drummond, the 5th, native of Mastic, New York, Keystone College transfer from Pennsylvania. Trying to get this Lions offense in gear in their biggest test so far this season. Dixon to his left. Takes this snap, quick feed out to the near side, and it's incomplete. I think he tried to find his receiver over the middle. That is Peter von Schonermark, team's leading receiver coming into play today. 6 catches for over 97 yards. But incomplete that time, and Molloy will have 2nd down at 10.
Good coverage there, DB 23, Trey Batson, who we've already mentioned before already tonight.
So 2nd down at 10, back at their own 22-yard line. One receiver out to the far side. Drummond in shotgun, running back to his right, takes his snap, pump fakes, tries to step up in the pocket, running for his life, and a slew of black shirts bring him down. Oxidine was over there, Thomas Golio as well. Drummond able to make something out of nothing on that play. Will pick up a short gain, and it's still going to be 3rd down and long upcoming for Molloy. Gain of 2, it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Good job there, Jake. Oxidine again already now hit the quarterback twice. It's difficult to readjust after you've been pass rushing from the outside to then go chase down the quarterback. So great job there, Jake. Now they'll have still a 3rd down and long.
Oxidine has done a phenomenal job. The junior from Aldie, Virginia, back up last couple of years, moving into a starting role to start 2025. Drummond takes a snap on 3rd and long, rolls left, pump fakes, and throws it out to the near side. Finds his man, that's von Schonermark, and he gets walloped along the near sideline in front of the Army bench by the 30, and a flag thrown by the umpire right in front of the Army bench after the hit.
A little bit of extracurricular there is going to be a defensive penalty against the Black Knights. A little bit excessive there, but hey, can you blame him? That was a big hit right on the West Point bench, but it's going to be a little bit too much there.
The initial hit came from Zion Sims, and then Mason Berryall came in and delivered the punishment at the tail end. And it's going to be a late hit out of bounds against the Black Knights, and that's going to be 15 yards on the personal foul penalty. And that's going to be Molloy's biggest offensive play of the game, as that'll push them all the way out to their own 44-yard line. So instead of a potential punt for the Lions, they've got 1st down just shy of midfield, and their offense gathering a little bit of steam here. Drummond in shotgun, Dixon to his right, takes the snap, flings it out to the far side, finds his man, Bassard's trying to chase him down, and pushed out of bounds was Vaughn Washington. A good chunky yardage there on 1st down for Molloy, and that'll be enough for another 1st down. Stoppage in play, I believe, to adjust the chains here. 6:33 to go here in the first quarter. Army a 7-0 lead, a big 15-yard late hit penalty on the Black Knight defense, extending the drive for Molloy. I'll actually pick up 8 yards on that play. That was where the issue was with the chain gang. So an 8-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down at 2. But Molloy will run their first play on the Army side of midfield. Army showing pressure. Ryan Downs now in the backfield to the left of the quarterback, Drummond. He takes the snap, under pressure, flings it up in the air, far side, incomplete. Tried to find Von Schonermark. Drew Waldron was on the coverage there for the Black Knights, but there was a lack of communication on the offensive line there, Ross, and it looked like Tyrus Carter got a free shot at the quarterback.
He did. Drummond's lucky to have gotten that pass off. Big miscommunication there. Molloy just needs to fix up those. They've had a couple on defense, couple on offense. Still early, still a young team, like we mentioned, only their second season playing football. It's just critical that they can get these little kinks worked out to try to continue their good drive they've got going.
3rd down and 2 from the Army 48-yard line. Downs to the left of Drummond. Takes the snap. A keeper there from Drummond. And he able to push himself forward just a tad. Will be very close towards the first down marker. It'll depend on the spot here. I don't think he got enough there. Ball spotted.
They're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him. It was right near that marker at about the 46-yard line. The question was whether it had enough distance of that football to get across that marker. So it was enough for a first down on the ground there from Drummond, the 5th. And Molloy picks up their second first down of the drive. And they'll move the sticks over to the Army 46-yard line, first down and 10. Receivers bunch the near side. Down to the left of Drummond. Takes the snap, looks left, throws left, and pass incomplete, looking for Gordon. Zion Sims, nearest Black Knight there on coverage, trying to get a little quick bubble screen out to the speedy receiver, but coordination between quarterback and wideout just a tad too fast.
And Justin, back on that previous play, we saw Drummond run there, and it looked like the second effort was what was able to give him the first down, what we would call yards after contact. I'd love to see him do more of that. Seemed very effective here.
It'll be interesting to see if Molloy tries to utilize that RPO, that run-pass option, a little bit more on this drive. Second down at 10. Ball at the Army 46. Pistol formation. Gordon across the formation from right to left. They do hand it off to Downs going left. And a slew of Black Knights able to slow his progress. Looked to be William French who made the critical hit on that play. It'll be a 2-yard gain on the ground for Downs, and it'll be 3rd down and long upcoming for Molloy. 3rd and 8 from the Army 44-yard line. And right now, crucial for the Lions to pick up just positive yardage on this play. Maybe try and give themselves an opportunity to go for it on a 4th and manageable.
It seems like 4th down territory to me, Justin.
Drummond in shotgun to the right is Downs. Takes the snap, throws it out to the far side. Gordon, and it's off his fingertips and incomplete. I think Gordon felt the pressure coming from Zion Sims, who was reading the play beautifully. He's done a great job swarming to the football so far today, moving east and west to make plays. Previous play was moving to his right, this time to his left.
We've already mentioned Zion's name a bunch. Fun little fact about him, he's also a skilled barber. Cadet barber all the time. I see him, he's in my company with me. So not only is he all over the field, he's cutting people's hair up.
Well, might need to call up Zion next time I need a buzz cut. That one a line drive kick taken there from the Black Knights along the near side. Tremendous return by Arbogast. About a 10-plus yard return out across the Army 20-yard line. So that'll improve the field position for the Black Knights. Marek Arbogast making his Shea Stadium debut, and Army will take over 1st and 10 with 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Actually, ball spotted at the Army 30-yard line.
I've loved seeing Marek improve over the last 2 weeks. Another guy in my company, a great guy, incredibly fast. A great return there by him. There he is on the camera again. I love to see him going.
He's wide to the far side. Taking the snap west, throws it out to the far side. Little dump pass to the backup running back, Bolivar. And Bolivar able to jut his way forward out across the 35-yard line. Good chunk there on first down. First time we've called Gabe Bolivar's name today.
Gabe might be one of the strongest men on that field. Awesome to get to see him playing.
Had over 100 yards, a couple of scores against Molloy last year. West out to the far side. He's got his man, and sprinting all the way down to the Molloy side of the field is Marek Arbogast. Gain all the way to the Molloy 45-yard line. And for the Black Knights, had about a gain of 18 or so on that play. Made one man miss, and finally able to be brought down by Aiden Das.
Over the head of Carson McFadden there. A little too high by Kyle's pass, but as we're seeing, Kyle and his offense, they love to go quick, try to keep the defense on their toes. Got to connect on the short passes, though. They're loving that screen pass so far tonight.
It's been the play that's been most successful so far for the Black Knights. Second down at 10, 3:44 to go here in the first quarter. Ball at the Molloy 45-yard line. West back to pass, a little screen this time near side of McFadden. He's got a first down and more. Out across the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Black Knights. Carson McFadden, 2 catches today. The first 2 touchdowns of his career through the air. And the Black Knights with 3:33 remaining in the first quarter take a 13-0 lead. The second QB to QB strike today. McFadden, the converted quarterback to receiver, this time taking it 45 yards for a touchdown.
I love seeing this. Carson's a great buddy of mine. He's in my military science class. He's a great guy, incredibly smart, as we saw again. Great speed there, and now here he goes. Gets to go straight from catching that touchdown to being the holder as well.
McFadden will hold. It'll be Cueto for the point after try. It's going to essentially be about a 16-yard try from the 10-yard line, and that one up and good. And the Black Knights, with 3:33 to go in the opening quarter, now have a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 here over Molloy. But it has been West and McFadden so far today, and that, Ross, just perfect execution by the Black Knights. Bubble screen of McFadden, and he did not have to really make anybody miss. He had about 4 or 5 linemen and fellow receivers out in front, leading the convoy, blocking in front.
That might be one of the most underrated aspects of sprint football as a whole, is the fact that you have your offensive linemen under 178 pounds as well. Great job there by the offensive line. The Pigs getting out with 4 offensive linemen. Where else do you see a screen pass with 4 linemen moving ahead just as quick as a receiver there?
I was going to say you could see Luke Melton and Chance Pogue leading the charge out in front. You also had Case and Mackey also out there throwing out some blocks, and doesn't get much easier than that. Carson McFadden, 2 catches. I don't think he's had a defender within about 5 yards of him both times he's caught the football tonight. The 2 longest passing plays of the year for Army. The first touchdown pass from West to McFadden, 37 yards. And then the second one, 45 yards. Number 1 and number 2 now on the season in terms of plays from scrimmage. As the return muffed by Gordon, returned out across the 20 to about the 25-yard line. A little bit shy of that 25-yard marker. And it'll be first down at 10 for Molloy, needing to get their offense in rhythm once again. They're able to get on the Army side of midfield on their last drive, aided by a 15-yard late hit penalty.
Molloy started over there near the 20, 25-yard line each of their drives so far. Last drive by far being the most successful. Let's look to see Drummond maybe use his legs again, as it was very successful last drive.
For the snap, a timeout going to be taken by Molloy here, as they're a little bit out of sorts with 3:27 to go in the first quarter. First charge timeout for Molloy. We'll stay right here on Night Vision from YouTube. 14-0 Army, 3:27 to go in this opening quarter. And right now for the Black Knights, Ross, coming off that frustrating opening game where things weren't quite as crisp as Mark West and his staff would have liked them to be. So far, offensively and defensively, really outside that one late hit penalty, really been perfect so far.
You're absolutely right. It's great to see the Black Knights here.
And we'll take a look back at those 2 touchdown passes. First, West airing it out deep to McFadden, and again had nobody near him. Arbogast leading the way, and this time a quick little bubble screen to the near side, and McFadden had an entire convoy leading himself down the gridiron to the end zone. Great camera work by our staff here. McFadden running right into your living room. Hand off up the middle to Downs, and first hit, and then the second hit, providing some emphasis there. And Downs maybe a gain of a half a yard there. And nonetheless, second down upcoming for the Lions.
Zion there again. Second down and 10. Chance now for Molloy to stay on trajectory, on pace to maintain their first down like they would want to have from last drive.
3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Molloy, 3 receivers out to the far side. Nobody lined out near side. Got Drummond in shotgun, Downs to his right. Drummond takes the snap, throws it out far side. Finds his man, that's Washington. And Washington a short gain out towards the 25, 30-yard line.
It looked like he bobbled the catch and wasn't able to bring it in. Are they going to call it incomplete?
It looked like he caught it. He did drop it. He had it, no, bobbled it, then dropped it and kicked it. That's what it was along that far sideline. I think Washington trying to make a move on that ball before he had it completely in his grasp. So Vaughn Washington unable to reel it in, a drop there. Costly one at that, so third down at 10. Ball at their own 24-yard line. Drummond back to pass, looks left, throws left towards the sideline, incomplete. Intended for the team's leading receiver, Peter Van Schonermark. And Molloy will go 3 and out. And the punting unit back out on the field.
Mason Berryalt, Trey Batson there on the double coverage. Looking for his best receiver there, but not able to connect. 3 and out now. Merrick Arbogast back for another return, sitting right there at his midfield logo.
Well, right now the Lions offense just seems out of whack, and as they try and get the punt off, look to be a miscommunication there once again on Molloy, and they're going to call an illegal formation again on a punt against Molloy. So that is the second illegal formation call against Molloy on a punt here in this opening quarter, which I feel like you very rarely see.
I was going to say, you don't see that very often. Now is a chance Merrick could pick up this ball on the plus side of the 50.
Well, he's right now stationed right on the midfield marker. The last punt from Strasco did get a good roll on it. Not a whole lot of pressure there from Army. This is a line drive kick to midfield taken by Arbogast. Makes the first man miss. Kicks it out to the near sideline. 40, 35, 30, 25. Cuts inside of the 20. And tripped up inside the 20 down at the Molloy 16-yard line. Merrick Arbogast creating things in open space. A tremendous return. A return there for the Black Knights of about 35 yards. A little bit longer than that. Took it all the way at about the Molloy 48-yard line. But an outstanding return there by Arbogast. And if it wasn't for the punter there, Timmy Stasko, he might have gone the distance. And on the first play from scrimmage, going to be a penalty. It's Kyle West frustrated, looking over at his near sideline. I don't think Army was completely set. There will be a penalty on the Black Knights. Might have been on Arbogast based on his expressions on the field. And so Army backed up 5 yards. It'll be first down at 15 at the Molloy 22-yard line. 2:13 to go in this first quarter. Black Knights trying to take a commanding first quarter lead. West takes the snap, back to pass, fires over the middle. Nobody's covering Kason Mackey, and he falls into the end zone for a touchdown.
1, 2, 3 touchdown passes. No DB within a 5-yard radius on any of them from Kyle West.
Well, that just a colossal miscommunication by Molloy defensively. I mean, Kason Mackey had nobody within 15 yards of him. He was so wide open, he almost lost track of that ball as he was backpedaling towards the end zone, but able to hang on. His first touchdown catch of the year. An Army at 20-0 lead with 2:06 to go in the first quarter. It'll be Cueto for the point after try. A hold from McFadden, the snap from Fillion. And it's up and good in Army West Point after being unable to convert on their first drive of the game. Last 3 drives, 3 possessions, and 3 touchdown passes. First 2 to McFadden, and this one to Kason Mackey.
It's beautiful to see the sequence of events. Defensive stop, defensive 3 and out. Merrick Arbogast with a great return, his best now as a Black Knight. And then a great pass from Kyle to Carson there.
And got to be frustrated if you're Brian Hughes and Molloy University on that possession. It looked like it was just a defensive lapse there. There were 3 different defensive backs in the vicinity, but none of them picked up Mackey as he stretched out on a bit of a fly route there. And so Mackey had just wide open spaces. And into the end zone for an Army touchdown. So Kyle West, who had just 1 touchdown pass in the first game of the season, now has 3 through the first 12 and a half minutes today. Perrine will let it fly. Gordon will be on the return from about the 5.5-yard line. Out across the 20, the 25, and runs into a swarm of Black Knights at about the 27-yard line. So Molloy will take over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. And right now, Ross, with the way the Lions defense has struggled mightily to slow down anything from this Army attack, they need to get some sort of substantial drive here. If not getting points, at least chewing up some clock and giving a very tired defense a chance to catch their breath a little bit here.
They do, and I mentioned before, Drummond's a great runner. I don't know why they haven't been employing that more. If I'm the Lions coaching staff over there, I'm going to put 1, 2, maybe 3 designed quarterback runs here for Drummond.
He's their best player, trying to get him with some room and space. Drummond takes the snap, handoff up the middle to Dixon. And Dixon runs into a crowd. Cameron Allen among those who made the initial hit. Lou Petkus there as well on the stop. And so a short gain on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 9. It appears from the Molloy 28-yard line. Marquise Dixon averaging about 4.5 yards a carry coming into play today. But right now, the Army defense has stifled pretty much anything from the Molloy offense. About 80 seconds to go in the quarter. Gordon in motion from left to right. Now cuts back left, little shovel pass to him out in front. And he'll weasel his way forward, but a very short gain on that play. Maybe another 1-yard pickup to the 30-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and long upcoming for Molloy. They've been trying to get Jalen Gordon in space. The Black Knight defense has done a great job of just enveloping him as soon as he touches the football.
They spend a lot of time in practice every day doing that outside contain drill. I just don't see Molloy being able to get outside, breaking the contain of this stellar defense for the Black Knights.
Well, that has been their struggle so far, trying to get to the edge. 3rd down and 8 at the 29. 35 seconds to go in the quarter. Drummond takes the snap, rolling right under pressure, fires it deep down the right sideline, incomplete. Try to find Von Schonermark. A couple of Army defenders were in the area as well, looking to make a play on that football. Not really the first deep shot we've seen from Molloy today. They've been able to get off. First time Drummond was hit as he threw. They're able to give him some time by rolling him out of the pocket there, Ross, but unable to convert. And Molloy will have to bring out the punting unit once again.
A good job there by the Molloy offensive line. Peter Von Schonermark has been targeted many times downfield, just almost every time double covered.
Stosko, left-handed punter, or left-footed punter, will let it fly. Tough catch made there on the return by Arbogast, trying to get some room in space, cuts up the middle, and we brought down just shy of midfield. Good stop by Aiden Das, who has been everywhere for Molloy on special teams defensively today. And so Army West Point will take over. 14 seconds to go in the first quarter, just shy of midfield, and that's not a great sign if you're Molloy. Looked like Aiden Das maybe in a little bit of pain as he walks off towards the far sideline here at Shea Stadium. But if you're the coaching staff for the Black Knights right now, Ross, what are you telling Kyle West and his teammates in that huddle before they head out onto the field? Especially when you consider the last 3 drives, it seems like everything they've done has worked to perfection.
You're right. You have to keep doing what you're doing. You cannot, however, bank on and get complacent on always having a receiver that open. So go through your drills, keep doing what you're doing, stick to the fundamentals, be proud of how well you've done, keep to it, and finish off the last play here in this first quarter strong.
And probably the brightest spot right now for Army on offense so far has been everybody contributing. Ross and Bolivar on the ground, Mackey and McFadden through the air on a night. They don't have their top wideout in Parker Williams, and of course Arthur Lavallee not with the team this season. Handoff up the middle to Bolivar, and he won't have much going on that play. Actually spotted the ball at the 36-yard line there. I didn't see a penalty on that play. Looked like Arbogast got the ball all the way out near midfield. I don't know if they called Arbogast saying he called for a fair catch on that ball. But nonetheless, Army further back than we had initially thought. It was no gain on that last play by Bolivar. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Army at their own 36 when we come back for the start of the second quarter. All Black Knights here in the early going on this early Friday night. Through one here from Shea Stadium in West Point, New York. It's Army West Point 21, Molloy University nothing. This is the CSFL on Night Vision from YouTube. It's amazing how quick those quarter timeouts go when you don't have commercials to worry about. Back here from West Point, New York, right on the banks of the Hudson River, alongside Gillis Fieldhouse here at West Point on the campus of the U.S. Military Academy. Justin Rock alongside Ross. Graham deep pass along the far sideline. It's Kelton Okasik, and he's finally brought down out of bounds inside the Molloy 25-yard line. And again, Army utilizing their speed on the deep ball. It's been all Army so far. If you're just joining us, 21-0 as we start the second quarter. And the Black Knights, another long passing play, this time finding Okasik.
I'd love to see Okasik getting his first catch of the night there.
First catch of the season as well. The junior from Evergreen, Colorado. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Rolling left is West. He's got wide open spaces. Running left towards the end zone. Gets a block. He's in there. Touchdown, Army. A QB scramble for Kyle West. A rushing touchdown for him. That's his 2nd on the ground this season. He's accounted for all 4 of Army's touchdowns today, and it's 27-0, less than 40 seconds into the second quarter.
He can do it all, can't he? As we look back, I want you to look at Gabe Bolivar. Key block there, or there's the pass there to Okasik. On that touchdown run, though, key block on the outside there. There's number 7, Gabe Bolivar, and then another key block here by Merrick Arbogast, sealing both free passageway for Cal West to score.
And a great job by Arbogast. It's always so tough in open space when you can't see the runner behind you to not only get a body on the blocker but also not commit a block in the back or any sort of holding penalty on a play like that. Great job by Arbogast to get enough contact on that defender to give West the angle to get into the end zone. And the point after try from Cueto up and good. And the Black Knights, clearly the strategy right now, Ross, has been to try and utilize their speed, try and work the ball deep down the field, and so far they have been almost perfect trying to execute those plays, either getting a penalty or just being able to execute perfectly.
There's not too much you can critique so far tonight. You're right. Black Knights have come into the game, executed their game plan just about to perfection.
20-yard touchdown run from Kyle West after the probably about a 50-some-odd yard pass play. Probably longer than that. But I wasn't a math major in school, and that's why I'm in the broadcast booth. Molloy will get it back here with 14:22 to go in the second quarter. And Army, who beat Molloy 63-7 last year, on their way to another resounding victory here today. Army's already outscored what they did in week 1 of the season against Chestnut Hill. As Gordon on the return, knocked down by Donahue. And Molloy will take over 1st and 10 just beyond their own 25-yard line.
Linebacker 44, George Donahue on that tackle there. A man who's always smiling. I got to do cadet field training with him this past summer. A great leader, incredibly strong, incredibly gifted. Great linebacker, but also just a great guy outside of the game as well.
Like Molloy University, Donahue from Long Island, out a little bit further out on the island from St. James, New York. Some friends that live out in that neck of the woods. Shout out to the Tavella family. Back to pass, throwing it deep down the near side. Drummond, and incomplete. Had too much air underneath that pass, looking for Vaughn Washington down the sideline. And so it'll be 2nd down and 10 upcoming for Molloy back at their own 26-yard line. Last couple of offensive plays, the Lions, they've tried to utilize their speed on the edges. Couple of deep passes, one to Von Schonermark, that one to Washington, but execution and timing just hasn't been there.
The Lions receiver there had a step. It could have been at 6 points the other way. Just a little bit too much air under it, though, from Drummond.
2nd down at 10, just 50 seconds into the second quarter. Drummond takes the snap. They hand it off up the middle. It's Dixon. And Dixon runs into a crowd and turns into a bit of a rugby scrum there as Oxendine and Dixon get into a tad of a shoving match there as the officials blow the play dead. About a small chunk on that play, about 3 yards or so. It'll be 3rd down at 7 from the Molloy 29-yard line. Just have not been able to pick up enough chunks on 1st and 2nd down to keep them out of 3rd and long situations. 3rd down and 7. Army in another situation where their defense may be looking to pin their ears back and go helter-skelter at the quarterback, but play stop before 3rd down. Might have been a timeout called.
Lions timeout, I believe.
And Molloy will take their 2nd charge timeout of this first half. And so Molloy with just 1 timeout remaining, and honestly, you can't really blame the decision here from Brian Hughes and Molloy ahead of this 3rd down and 7. They need to move the sticks any way possible. The way the Black Knight offense has just been an unstoppable force so far tonight. 13:23 remaining in the quarter. Right now, Black Knights flexing their muscles on both sides of the ball. Really all 3 phases when you consider the great return you saw a little while ago from Marek Arbogast, right ahead of the 3rd of 4 Army first half touchdowns. 3rd down at 7. Molloy only 1 3rd down conversion so far today. Back to pass. Rolling to the near side. Drummond fakes the pass, now trying to scramble and gets hit a couple of times as he tried to make it to the near sideline. Looked like Drummond was running in quicksand there over to the near side as a swarm of black shirts were coming in his direction. And so a very short gain, if any, on that play for Drummond on the scramble. There will be no gain on 3rd down, and so once again, Molloy going to have to punt the ball back to Army with Timmy Stosko, a Brooklyn native out of Xaverian High School. A high arcing kick here. Arbogast going to call for a fair catch and will receive it cleanly back at the Army 38-yard line. And so Army will take over 1st down and 10 inside their own territory with 12:47 to go in the second quarter. Army at the half last year led 35-7 on the road against Molloy. Molloy University, for those of you wondering, maybe not as familiar with the school, a usual Division II program out on Rockville Center, New York, out on Long Island. About an hour, 45-minute drive as of today. Kyle West hands it off J.P. Ross. And Molloy defensive line, one of their best plays so far today. No gain really cooking on that play at all for Army. Maybe a pickup of 1 for Ross. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Ball at the Army 39. West back to pass, fires it over the middle, pass tipped and caught by Kaysen Mackey, and he'll carry it over midfield to the Molloy 49-yard line. Oh, everything going the way of the Black Knights right now. That pass right off the hands of Molloy defender and deflected straight to Kaysen Mackey. Low snap. They hand it off to Ross up the middle, and he'll maybe get 1 on the play. Looks like no gain on 1st down there for the Black Knights. So Molloy's done a good job plugging up the middle on the ground these last couple of plays, but Army still finding their success through the air. 2nd down at 10. West back to pass. Fires it deep down the right side over the head of his intended target. Trying to find Okasik once again. And West waited maybe just a little bit longer. Okasik was looking to streak free behind the defense. And Army, it's honestly a good test for them right now. Haven't been in too many 3rd and long situations really since that opening drive.
Good job by Molloy stopping JP on 2 inside runs so far this drive.
West back to pass. Fires it over to the near sideline and unable to hang on to it was Arbogast. Arbogast got a hand on it, but was hit by Ryan Tropp, the graduate student from Oceanside, New York. And Army West Point going to have to bring the punting unit out for the 2nd time today, as despite the fact the Black Knights had great field position, Army unable to move the sticks, and Arbogast did get his hands on it. Tropp unwilling to allow the receiver to reel it in cleanly.
See if Alex can pin the defense back deep on this punt here.
Perrine will punt it away. Line drive kick angle to the near sideline. Doesn't take a particularly great Army bounce, just sort of dies at the Molloy 27-yard line. So it'll only be about a 27-yard punt. Maybe a 22-yard punt actually at that. And so Molloy will take over 1st down at 10 with 11:27 to go in the 2nd quarter. Perrine trying to angle that kick and just didn't get a good bounce off the turf.
No, it didn't. It would have been perfect, though. It would have gone right out of the corner there, down inside the 5-yard line, had it got a more fortunate roll there for the Black Knights.
It was almost like it was filled with lead and hit off the turf and just stayed put. So Molloy, another big offensive drive here. Defense just got a 3 and out. See what the offense can do here with 11:27 to go in the half. Drummond looking for somebody to get open along the far sideline. Nobody there. French hit him. Drummond fired it into the turf. That should be intentional grounding. Haven't seen a flag come from the officials, but William French able to put the hit on Drummond. Drummond forced to throw with his offhand. They did throw the flag there on the far side, and it will be intentional grounding on Drummond. So credit the sack to William French, and the ball will be spotted right where he threw that football at about the 17, 16-yard line. That's going to be about a loss of 10.
Tough spot there for Drummond, but you're right. That was more like a shot put than a football pass.
I'm going to say, it seemed like something a Jet quarterback would do when they're in the grass, getting wrapped up there, just trying to fling it left-handed. But the difference would be the Jet quarterback would have thrown an interception on that play. Can you tell I've been burned for the last 15 years? 2nd down. Throw over the middle. That pass complete, but immediately hit by Lou Petkus was the team's leading wideout, Van Schonermark, his first reception today. And a very short gain there on 2nd and 19. Pick up a 7. Still behind the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 12 from their own 25-yard line.
I like to see the quick passes, the curls, the quick in routes. That seems to be a spot where the Lions could get some more ground going here on this drive.
10:43 to go in the first half. Molloy desperately looking to move the sticks. Back to pass. Drummond fires it deep down the left sideline, and a diving attempt by Washington, incomplete. Oh, tremendous effort on that play from Fawn Washington. Just could not reel it in. Great coverage on that play. Trailing him the whole way was Caleb McGarity. And Molloy going to have to punt from deep inside their own territory. Great effort by Washington. Great job by McGarity on the coverage not to commit a penalty.
You can't really ask for much more out of a receiver than that.
No, great. And it was great effort on both ends. Great job by the wideout to make a play on the ball. Great job by the defensive back to just be enough of a nuisance to make a play. Picked up off the turf on the punt there by Arbogast. Cuts to the inside at the 45. Inside towards the 50. Bounces off another defender and is finally tripped up just on the Molloy side of midfield. Maybe a potential touchdown saving tackle there from Alex Missing. But once again, Arbogast able to make a play in space. And another return there from the Army specialist of about 15, 20 yards.
It's only career game number 2 for Arbogast, but you've already been able to see him blossom into the player that we're going to get to watch him over the next 4 years. It's been great to see him in the punt return game and in the receiving game. Also blocking like we saw earlier.
Local kid from Highlands Falls, New York. Highlands Falls, a town right outside of West Point for those who are unfamiliar. So he knows all about what this sprint football program has done over the many decades. Empty backfield, West fires over the middle, and wide open over the middle is Kaysen Mackey reaching back to try and make that play. Did it hit off the turf before he caught it? They say it did, and it'll be incomplete. Looked like Mackey caught that football, but it was hard to tell live. See if we can slow that down for you. Take a look back at that play, and ooh, that looks like a missed call. Looked like Mackey just got his hands underneath it. Now, of course, the officials don't have replay like we do here. Might have ruled that Mackey trapped that ball with the turf. A tough break there for Army on first down.
A little bit underthrown there. Good job there by Kaysen trying to readjust to the ball, though.
Great job by Kaysen trying to make a play on that ball, and it looked like he did. One more look at that play. It looked like, at least from my eyes, that he grabbed it. Certainly no discernible evidence to say he didn't.
It looks like there's 2 white gloves, though, in that forearm underneath the ball, in between the ball and the turf. But, hey, nonetheless, good play. Good job of getting open. And, Justin, I want to know what you think, but it seems like the Black Knights have found a sweet spot just below the soft coverages, the soft zones of the Lions. It seems like once you get past their first line of defense, there's all these hot pockets, and Cal West keeps finding them.
And it seems like it sort of changed a little bit, right? Early in the game, first couple possessions, Army was able to beat Molloy deep over the top. Now Molloy's adjusted, trying to prepare for the over the top. Now there's plenty of space to create over the middle. 2nd down and 10. West back to snap. And he's hit. Ball is out on the floor. Who's got it? It looks like Molloy has it. And they do. A strip sack for the Lions. And the exact break they needed. With 10:03 to go in the second quarter, a strip sack of Kyle West. Anthony DeSalvo comes up with the fumble recovery. And the Lions will take over with 10:03 to go in the first half. And the pressure came from the near side. Joseph Spano, the sophomore from Garden City South, his 2nd sack of the season. This one forcing a fumble and a tremendous effort. And the back end by DeSalvo, the native of Belmore, New York, to come away with a fumble recovery. So the Molloy defense comes up with a huge stop after the Army offense had a call go against them. This handoff up the middle goes nowhere. Downs the ball carrier there. It'll be 2nd down and 10, maybe a loss of a half a yard on that play.
The first man there, Captain Lou Petkus, coming back from the secondary, getting that stop again with 93. Jake Oxidine, which we've seen all night. Their running up the middle has become stagnant for both teams, I'd say, in the last 5-6 minutes of this quarter and leading into the last one. So it looks like we're going to need to see the Lions adjust, see what they can do here.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the Army 46. Drummond rolls right, throws it out near side, finds Von Schonermark just shy of the 40-yard line. Looks to be Beausarge who came up with the stop. Short gain on that play. And it'll be 3rd down upcoming for Molloy. Got a gain of 5 there. So it'll be 3rd down at 5 at the Army 41.
If I'm the Lions offensive staff, I'm viewing this 3rd down and 5 as 2 plays. You don't necessarily need to get all 5 yards. If you're in this spot, you know you need points. So the Black Knights should keep that in mind.
See if Molloy opts for a quick little screen pass here, something they've done a bunch so far today. Drummond takes the snap, flushed out of the pocket left, trying to keep it, and he does pick up a small gain on the play. Cameron Allen and Lou Petkis were there to prevent him from picking up more. Maybe 1 or 2 on that scramble from Drummond. And I don't think he got enough, and it looks like Molloy is going to elect to bring the punting unit out on the field. Picked up a couple of yards. It's 4th down and 3 from the Army 39.
It's a bit surprising to me, Justin. I would not have seen that one. I would have gone for that here.
I tend to agree with you here. I mean, you got nothing to lose, down 4 touchdowns. Trying to punt and push Army deep in their own territory. Takes a roll, picked up there by Arbogast, the 5-yard line. And now you just lost the field position you gained as Arbogast returns it 20 yards to the 25-yard line. So all in all, a net of 14 yards on that punt from Molloy. And do not agree with that decision really at all from Brian Hughes to punt that ball away on 4th down and 3 inside the Army 40-yard line.
Drummond is a great runner. He has great size. I believe they could have picked up 3 yards there. Interesting choice, like you said, but now with a good return there, Merrick Arbogast, they're basically back to where they would have been had they fielded that.
I was going to say, it's only a net of 14 yards on that punt. And you combine that with the fact that, you know, if you turned it over on downs on 4th and 3, you're essentially giving the Army the ball back where they turned it over to you. As this pass over the middle complete to Kason Mackey. That's to be a 5-yard gain out to the 30-yard line. Army asking for a late hit. Clay Earp had his arms at his side. Shea Malarkey was the one he was tangled up with. Army beginning to go fast. And a play blown dead by the officials. It'll be a false start against the Black Knights, and they'll be backed up to the original line of scrimmage. So Army, after jumping out to that 4-touchdown lead, has shot themselves in the foot a little bit these last few possessions. A punt, a turnover last 2 times with the pigskin for the Black Knights. Now they're back with 2nd down and 10 at their own 25-yard line with just under 7.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. J.P. Ross in the backfield to the left of West. Got Arbogast in the slot to the near side. West back to pass. Pump fake, steps up in the pocket, tries to scramble, and he'll get back out towards the 30-yard line. Maybe an extra yard or 2. Looks like they'll mark him down maybe a half yard beyond the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 5, but an injured Molloy player down on the field. That is the defensive lineman, Bobby Melendez. Clock stopped with 7:01 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Army a 28-0 lead on Molloy. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. They gave West 6 on the scramble. The Black Knights needing 4 here on 3rd down to move the sticks. Seen over the last couple of possessions, Army has struggled a bit running the ball between the tackles. Ross, where do you feel the Black Knights may be going here on 3rd and manageable?
If I'm Coach West, I'd call an run-pass option here with quick slants, see if we can get JP open, or see if we can get a quick pass there to Case in the middle to get a 1st down.
Saw that play work. The opening play of the drive to Mackey. Found him 5 yards over the middle. West back to pass. They run a similar play. This time it's Arbogast, and he'll make the catch to move the sticks just shy of the 40-yard line.
Another one of those cases. You had Merrick, you had Kaysen, and you had O'Kasich there. You could have really hit any of those 3 on a quick quick slant there. Not sure why the defensive pressure there was so loose on that third down play.
It looked like a little curl route there. A flag gets thrown from the defensive secondary as J.P. Ross runs it to the near sideline. Might have lost it at the last second. Another flag gets thrown at the tail end from the front end of the play, back by where the original line of scrimmage was. So a couple of flags thrown here after Ross raced out to the near sideline.
A lot to sort out there, what went on that play. But like I had mentioned on that third down play for the Lions, it's a 3rd down and 4. You have 3 receivers there. I just don't see the reason in having such soft coverage there. You had 3 quick curl routes that were easy passes there from Kyle. Good job, Kyle, picking up which one he saw first, Merrick Arbogast, and then, like we said, good run there by JP.
Only reason I could think as to why they had the defensive backs sagging so far off the wideouts would be because of how often they've been beaten deep so far today. But you'd figure maybe want to push them up a little bit closer on a 3rd and short yard situation.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that. And here's that play we just watched.
Ross did fumble, but the ball rolled out of bounds along the near sideline before Molloy could recover it. Looked like the penalty was against the Black Knights. As for what the specific penalty was, might have been holding. Saw a flag come in immediately from the far back sideline. This ball going to be spotted back at the Army 38. Right now we've got 1st down and 10 at the 38 as this pass to the near side knocked down incomplete. Trying to find Arbogast on a little bubble screen. A 2nd down upcoming for the Black Knights.
I think that pass was deflected, which fortunate for the Lions. That could have been 6. Easily points there for Merrick, as we saw. Again, 4 offensive linemen already ahead of Arbogast there had they made that completion.
I think the chain gang has something mixed up. Right now, it's, oh no. It just looked like a 4 from this angle without binoculars. It's a 2. 2nd down. West fires it deep down the right sideline. He's got his man, Okasik again. Will they catch him? No, they won't. Okasik will walk in for an Army touchdown. 62 yards from West to Okasik. 5th touchdown today for Kyle West. His 4th through the air. And Army West Point continues to pour it on. It's 34-0 with 6:04 to go in the 2nd quarter.
That offense is totally clicking in the air, on the ground. The deep pass from Kyle to his receiver simply cannot be stopped tonight. Great job there now for Okasik getting his 1st touchdown.
Well, that's the reason why they had the defense sack off on coverage on 3rd down and 5 as Kelton Okasik made him pay as Cueto's PAT up and good, and Army West Point another long touchdown play. This now the longest touchdown play of the season for the Black Knights, 62 yards. West just a simple fly pattern to Okasik. He made the play, and it was just a dead race between him and John Zarnowski. And Zarnowski just could not find a way to catch up with the gifted receiver from Colorado. As a matter of fact, by the end of that play, the only guy that was going to catch Okasik was his teammate and fellow wideout Stephen Craig.
Another time there, Kyle could have probably passed it to Craig or Okasik or Mackey.
What a first half of the Black Knights offensively. 3rd touchdown pass for West of over 30 yards. It'll be Perrine to kick it away for the Black Knights. Makes the decision to punt the ball away by Molloy on 4th down and short in plus territory. All the more puzzling as Jalen Gordon on the return, able to sneak his way through out towards the 30-yard line. Brought down there by Otto Leon, freshman from Katy, Texas. Molloy will get it back here with 5:58 to go in the 2nd quarter, and you wonder if maybe now, after that last series of events, maybe a bit more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. As Get a look and a hear of the freight train rolling by on the tracks in between the Shea Stadium grounds and the actual Hudson River. And along the water there. So here is Drummond, the fifth, back out in shotgun. Washington across the formation, a little shovel pass to him going from near to far side. And he is brought down out across the 35-yard line. Short pickup on first down.
DeAndre Bruning's senior linebacker there on that tackle, number 8 for the Black Knights.
Bruning's a former running back on this Black Knight squad. We've seen a couple of guys change positions through their career. We talked about it earlier. Carson McFadden from quarterback to receiver. For a guy like Bruning's from running back to linebacker. Jumbled backfield there for the Lions. Gordon across the formation. Another shovel pass to him, trying to go to the near side. And he's hit almost immediately there by Lucas Estevez, freshman from Medford, New Jersey. Maybe a gain of 1 at best, and it'll be third down upcoming for Molloy.
It's now back-to-back plays, essentially running exactly the same offensive scheme, just flipped. And if I'm not mistaken, it seems every time they've been in that personnel package with that motion man, it's been the same play. So good job there by the leaders of that Black Knight defense to recognize that. And so far, they've gotten 2 stops there for now bringing up a third down.
You could tell Molloy wants to get those wideouts in space, but Army's just done a fantastic job on the edges, preventing them from getting into the edge. Under 4.5 to go in the second quarter. Third down and 4. And the play blown dead, and it's going to be delay of game against Molloy. Well, the one mistake you can't afford to have happen there on third down and 4, a delay of game penalty, an unforced error against the Lions, and now that's going to push them back inside their own 30. It'll be third down and 9 back at their own 27-yard line. And this is a Lions offense that very rarely today has picked up 10 or more yards on a play from scrimmage. Going to be tasked to do that here in order to keep this drive alive. Third down and 9. The near hash. Back to pass. Drummond throws it out to the near sideline. He's got his man. What a big pass play there. Able to find his wideout, Von Schonermark. William French there on the stop alongside Ryan Hagg. And so Molloy able to pick up a huge chunk there on third down and 9. And that'll be a first down for the Lions out across towards the 47-yard line of the Black Knights.
Von Schonermark was able to find a little bit of a bubble there of space on that comeback route.
20-yard gain for Molloy. That's their largest play from scrimmage so far tonight. Just what the doctor ordered. Now with 3 and change to go until halftime. Gordon in motion from left to right. Look to get it out to Gordon, a miscommunication, and Drummond just flings it into the Army bench. It looked like he wanted Gordon to cut back over the middle towards the line of scrimmage. But Gordon kept on going out to the far sideline, and so Drummond had nowhere to pitch it and just threw it away.
Big communication there. One of the biggest setbacks for this Lions offense has just been miscommunications here and there. They have good play calls. They've got to clean up a little bit of these small discrepancies.
Also, you can just tell a little bit of the difference. Program that's been around for nearly 100 years and one that is in its second year of existence, playing just their 10th game ever. There's a pass out to the far sideline, and Gordon ball comes out, and it rolls out of bounds right near the Army 40-yard line. Ball will be spotted back at the spot of the fumble there from Gordon.
You mentioned a good point. This is now year number 2 for the Molloy Lions, whereas West Point has had 22 undefeated seasons alone. So just not the same program, but credit Molloy for how much they've been able to grow over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, this is a team coming off their first ever program victory, a 16-6 win last week at home in their home opener against Cornell. They move the sticks there, 1st and 10 at the Army 42, trying to go into the half with some momentum. As Army able to stop the forward push there. Donahue in on the stop. Trey McCardle was there as well. So second down and 10 upcoming. Second down and 8 actually. Ball at the Army 40-yard line. Nearing the 2-minute warning. And it is a 2-minute timeout here in this second quarter. Now really the question here for Molloy, will they be able to run out the second quarter clock? Will Army get the ball back before the locker room and have another opportunity to shuffle down the field and get one more score before the break? Army will get the ball to start the second half. A little bit of a scoring recap so far today. It all began that second Army drive. Kyle West finding Carson McFadden for his first career touchdown catch. And then next possession, Army a little bubble screen to McFadden. He got loose for a 40-plus yard score. Third possession in a row, Army a long touchdown feed. That one West to Case and Mackey. Then on a scramble, Kyle West getting one late block there from Arbogast. Gave Bolivar through another. That allowed West to race in there for a touchdown. That made it a 28-0 Army lead early in the second quarter. And then, of course, Kyle West finding Kelton O'Kasich deep down the far sideline. That made it a 35-0 game. Army with 5 touchdowns from Kyle West today, 4 through the air, 1 on the ground. 3 different receivers with touchdown catches today between Carson McFadden, Case and Mackey, and Kelton O'Kasich. Everyone has found a way to contribute so far in this game. And Army, after 7 rushing touchdowns against Molloy last year, now have 4 passing touchdowns today. Second down and 8, 2 minutes to go in the half. Drummond rolling left, throws left, and that one caught. And that's going to be a late hit penalty on the Black Knights. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Von Schonermark made the catch, went out of bounds, and then got hit low and late on the Molloy sideline.
Just a deadly combination right there, low and late. It's really obvious when you make the receiver who's tall fall over. It just was not necessary. Now you're going to give the Molloy Lions a 15-yard addition.
Ryan Hagg, the one who was guilty there. And I think Hagg looked to make that play when he saw Von Schonermark still in the field of play. But the timing of it was late. And thus, that will move Molloy into their best field position today. 1st and 10 from the Army 21-yard line, trying to get on the board before the half. McFadden rather Drummond over the middle, that pass incomplete. Dropped there by Von Schonermark.
George Donahue there, linebacker in that coverage.
Also worth noting, Army does not have their first team defensive unit on the field right now. Army right now with their backup unit on the field. Nick Aramita on the defensive line. Samuel Curtis out there, Trey McCardle. Backup defensive unit here for Army with 1:51 to go in the half. Getting some extended playing time with a 5-touchdown lead. They hand it off up the middle. And not much doing there on second down and 10. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play there for Marquise Dixon. Looks like they'll give him 3. The Army 18-yard line. First time inside the red zone today for Molloy. It'll be 3rd down and 7 from the Army 18-yard line with about 85 seconds to go in the half. Molloy does not have any timeouts remaining. Army has all 3 at their disposal here. You'd have to imagine this is 4-down territory right now for Molloy, although we have assumed that at times tonight and been wrong. Drummond in shotgun. Back to pass, throws it out to the near side, looking for Washington on a screen, and he's not going to go anywhere. J.C. Romo making the tackle immediately after the catch there from Vaughn Washington. No timeout taken by Army, at least for the time being. It'll be 4th down upcoming for Molloy. And it looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit out here to try and get some points before the halftime locker room. It's going to be Timmy Stosko on to try the field goal. He's 1 of 2 on field goal attempts this year, and this has to be a misprint. because the only field goal he's listed as making this year was a 16-yard field goal attempt. That would have meant they went for a field goal from basically the half-yard line. This attempt from over 20 yards, low line drive kick off the crossbar, no good. Tried an attempt, was probably about a 25, 35-yard field goal attempt, and it hit short off the crossbar and clanged out. And Army will take over with 14 seconds to go in the half.
The lefty doinked straight off the front crossbar, and Justin, you and I have been wrong now twice. If I was a coach there, I think you might agree with me. Those would have been 2 fourth-down attempts I would have made the last 2 drives. But now the Black Knights are on offense now, 14 seconds, take a knee, go to halftime.
Looked like they tried to find a way to just break up the shutout there. Had that kick had a bit more leg, they would have done so. But unable. Army now set up in victory formation. They're just going to take a knee and go into the locker room as Kyle West will sit on it. And that'll take us to halftime here at Shea Stadium. Army will get the ball to start the second half. Through the first 30 minutes, the Black Knights in firm command, a 35-0 lead. Ross, before we take a break here at halftime, your thoughts on the first 30 minutes of what has been just really a perfectly executed first half for the Black Knights, outside of really only 2 costly penalties along the sidelines.
You're right. There's been a little bit of turnover discrepancy issues that Black Knight offense will want to clean up, like we've had that strip sack there from Kyle. We've had JP lose the ball a couple times. That's where, if I'm Coach West, that's where I'm going for just some things to clean up. But like you said, they've basically been able to do anything they want on offense, especially through the air. Coach West has to be super pleased with both sides of the ball.
Already seen the second unit on defense get extended playing time. Came up with a stop on that last Molloy drive. It'll be very interesting to see what head coach Mark West decides to do with the offense when we come back for the second half. Boats are moving along, so are we. Army West Point at the break, 35-0 lead on Molloy University. This is CSFL football on KnightVision from YouTube. Back with the second half in just a matter of moments. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. This is CSFL football on KnightVision from YouTube, and it has been all Black Knights for the first 30 minutes so far today. Kyle West in the first half, 11 of 17 through the air, 229 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, added a rushing touchdown as well. You take a look at all the touchdowns Army has scored so far today. Army working it through the air, a couple of touchdown passes to Carson McFadden, another one to Kason Mackey. This one a long touchdown run by Kyle West, a 20-yard scamper. That made it 28-0, and then this the most recent score. Again going up top, this time to Kelton O'Kasich. Third different Black Knight receiver with a touchdown in the first half. Army a 35-0 lead. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter here at home. And Ross, you look at the stats of the first half, and it was all Black Knights. You look at it, Army outgaining Molloy 312-63 in that first half. And you also combine that with the fact that Army is averaging about 11 yards per play, 312 yards on 28 plays.
It's incredible. It's great to see from a Black Knights fan, obviously, how truly dominant they've been on the first half. I know Coach West and his coaching staff are happy about that. They're going to want that to continue, but now they have the opportunity to go into the depth of their lineup, as we'll see in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see what Mark West decides to do as Molloy a low line drive kick to start the second half. Army on the return. And on the return there, tripped up just shy of, I believe, the 30-yard line there. That one, Alexander Prescora on the return there for the Black Knights. So Army West Point will start their first drive of the second half, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. So a nice return there by Prescora. And it will be for the Black Knights a change under center. The sophomore from Vienna, Virginia, Jeff Ryder, has taken over at quarterback. Army West Point Black Knights backup with Kyle West. A fantastic first half. Ryder's pass left, intercepted. Jeff Ryder's first career pass is picked off by Molloy University. That is Aiden Doss, his first career interception. And just like that, one play into the second half, Molloy forces a turnover, and they'll take over deep inside Army territory. It was not a perfect snap. Ryder tried to force that ball into the grasp of Prescora, And Doss able to slide underneath and come up with the pick.
A little bit of jitters there for Jeff on his first pass. No worries, though. He'll get the ball back just in a few minutes.
Drummond, the fifth, back under center for the Lions as they take over inside Army territory. RPO, Dixon the handoff, and he is swarmed. Sebeski on the stop along with Samuel Curtis. Not much cooking for Molloy on first down. No gain. It'll be second down at 10 from the Army 35. Molloy could not do much rushing the football in the first half. You look at the numbers, 17 carries. They only netted 20 yards in the first half, so just barely a little over a yard per carry. Came into play today. Molloy did averaging about 150 yards a game on the ground. Drummond throws it out near side and complete. Pass was behind the intended receiver, Vaughn Washington. And so Molloy, 2 plays going nowhere after the turnover. And now third down and 10. Still at the Army 35. Molloy just 3 of 12 on third down so far today. Drummond 12 for 24 through the air, 43 yards. Just over a minute gone by here in the second half. Drummond over the middle, pass complete, and Donahue comes up with a stop. Good feed over the middle to Von Schonermark. That's going to be marked down short of the line to gain. They only pick up 4 on third down and 10, and it'll be fourth down and 6 now at the Army 31-yard line, and now Molloy forced into another decision. Molloy did not go for it on fourth down in the first half, although they had a couple of opportunities to do so. And this is the first time today they'll leave their offense out on the field. Molloy 3 of 7 on 4th down this year. Army brings pressure. Drummond flushed out right, flings it to the far sideline. Nobody home. Turnover on downs. Black Knights take over. Great play call by Army West Point defensively. Defensive coordinator Joe Sessa forcing Drummond to make a quick read, bringing the house on a blitz. We haven't seen a whole lot of blitzing from Army today, Ross. What a job there by Joe Sessa to dial it up at the right time.
We haven't, and we got to see linebacker 44, George Donahue, execute that play to perfection. Best defensive player of the game, probably for the season so far, for him so far. Big 4th down stop there now. We get to see Jeff in second drive now as a Black Knight quarterback.
Great news for the Black Knights and great news for Jeff Ryder. His defense picks him up. They fake the handoff to Bolivar up the middle on the QB keeper. And Aiden Doss, who just picked off the quarterback Ryder, comes up with the stop on the RPO. Picks up good chunk on first down. Pick up a 4, second down and 6. And Army going to give up those 4 yards as the snap timing was not exactly crisp there. As looked like the receiver from the slot left early.
Now, the stat sheet says Jeff is a sophomore. It's a little deceiving, though. A year ago, he wasn't on the football team. This is his first year. He tried out this spring. Coach West loved him, brought him on. Now he's quarterback number 2. So this really is, even though a sophomore quarterback Jeff Ryder, it's really his first snaps as a Black Knight.
And that's part of the dichotomy of sprint football. You don't have to be recruited out of high school. A lot of these players deciding in the middle of their college tenures to play, as this one fielded over the middle by Braden Jones, and he's off to the races and tackled from behind. A touchdown saving tackle by John Zarnowski. And what a time. Braden Jones, the sophomore from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Longest catch of his career, and Jeff Ryder, his first career completion. Army all the way down to the Molloy 22-yard line. A massive gain there. They hand it off, running right, and into a crowd there for the Black Knights was Gabe Bolivar. Shea Malarkey on the stop for Molloy. Gain of 5 there. It'll be maybe a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6 from the 18, and Braden Jones just running off into the distance. And the safety Zarnowski saves the day. A screen out of the near side. Jones again, and this time it was the Lion defense who was ready. Number 34, David DiGiovanni, coming up with a stop there. The transfer from Nassau Community College. A loss of 3 there. And it'll be third down and 9 back at the Molloy 21. Ryder rolls out left, trying to get to the edge, fires it over the middle. Did he find his man? He did. The question is it enough for a first down? Ball's going to be spotted at the Molloy 14-yard line. It'll be a 2 yard shy, 4th down and 2. Army needs to get to the Molloy 11 to move the sticks. Ryder, handoff up the middle. Bolivar makes the first man miss. He's got a first down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Army.
It's great to see Gabe there, getting a good hold there by this number 2 offensive lineman, which I'll talk about in a minute here. Great run there for a first and goal now for the Black Knights.
Bolivar, Army's leading rusher today. Rolling right is Ryder. Fires right towards the end zone, and that one is caught just shy of the goal line. First catch of the season from Stephen Craig. Another guy who has switched positions in his career, originally a defensive back for this program, now in his second year as a wide receiver. Another great touchdown saving tackle by Zarnowski. It's actually second and goal now from the 3. Hand off there. Running right, it is Bolivar pushing his legs forward. He's into the end zone for an Army touchdown. Gabe Bolivar with his first touchdown of the season. Army's second on the ground here today. And with 10:08 to play in the third quarter, Army's second unit of offense has their first touchdown. It's 41-0.
Justin, there's a couple reasons why that's near and dear to my heart. Gabe has had a lot of injury he's had to overcome in this past week that he wouldn't have wanted to in the past 2-3 weeks even. So great to see him get his first touchdown on the ground already. And like I said also earlier, that second string offensive line, those are my buddies I eat with every single day. So to get to see guys like Jake Vineyard and Josh Agres and Ryan Benedict and Dylan, all of them get to play on the offensive line. It's truly amazing.
Bolivar there just literally bowled over the Molloy defense and into the end zone for 6. And they got the contact they were looking for. Shea Malarkey put the hit on Bolivar. Bolivar just would not be denied. Bolivar last year had arguably the best game of his career against Molloy in that matchup on the road in Rockville Center. In that game, Bolivar running for 125 yards and a couple of touchdowns today. He has been exquisite as well. 4 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown today for the Black Knights. Bolivar, Army's leading rusher today, averaging over 10 yards a touch. So less than 5 minutes remaining, or less than 5 minutes into the third quarter. Army has opened up a 42-0 lead. It'll be Perrine kick it away for the Black Knights. Lefty lets it fly, angles it out to the far side. Gordon from about the 11-yard line. Gordon tries to make that first man miss, but a great job staying home there defensively. And the Black Knights' Ace Robinson on special teams makes the stop. And Molloy will take over first down and 10. Ball at their own 25-yard line.
And Justin, I get to eat, like I just said, with the pigs table every day. I get honored. They let me go sit with them. So like I said, Dylan Estep and Jake Vineyard and Josh Agres and Ryan Jerry Benedict and Bridger Cloninger. I get to eat with them. So it's so awesome getting to see all my buddies in there on that drive on the offensive line.
Tremendous drive by Army. An 8-play, about 71-yard drive to punch it in for 6. Drummond hand off to Dixon on the RPO, and Army West Point creating a rugby scrum again. Alex Aramita coming up with the stop there for the Black Knights, or actually rather Nick Aramita, a junior from Crofton, Maryland.
Nick's my next door neighbor, my buddy, right next to my room where I stay, so it's awesome getting to see him as well. But another thing which I would like to see your opinion, look at the West Point bench, look at the Molloy bench. It's just unfair how much depth the West Point's able to have in the development, where we see the Molloy starting O still out on there.
And that's a difference in the size of both schools as well. Less than 5,000 undergrad at Molloy as that pass left is complete. And another late flag thrown by the officials on the near side. Jalen Gordon made the catch. Looked like the hit there from, I thought it was Lucas Estevez. Take a look back on the replay in just a moment, but first the call from the officials. And it was against the Black Knights, and they said it's on John Belleville. Maybe helmet-to-helmet contact there from the Black Knight defender. But that has been maybe Army's biggest issue today at times, has been the penalties. A look back, that pass was high, intended. I recall saying that was a late hit on the Black Knights. Looked to be number 32 there that made the penalty. Lucas Estevez, as we had originally surmised, as Molloy shovels it out right towards Jalen Gordon. That pass will fall incomplete. Second down and 10 at the Molloy 37-yard line. But Army penalty-wise today, 7 penalties, 86 yards. That's certainly going to be something Lieutenant Colonel Mark West not going to be all too pleased with. Looking back on the film and getting ready for next week's matchup here at home against University of Pennsylvania. 9:03 to go in the third quarter. Army a 42-0 lead. Paulie Drummond, the 5th, under center, back to pass, fakes the feed, now trying to find somebody, and he's brought down. Tabletop there by Joseph Sebeski. The sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, comes up with the sack, and that'll bring up third down. Tried to find somebody, but just ran out of time, and Sebeski would not be denied. Not the second sack today for Army's defense. Thomas Golio had the other. So 8.5 to go now in the third quarter. Molloy just 3 of 13 on third down today. Now stuck in a 3rd and 13. Back to pass, Drummond flings it deep over the middle into coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Hagg. His first career interception. He's on the return, looking for blocking. Out by the 25-yard line and brought down there from behind by Molloy and number 50. That is Alex Missing. Interception for Ryan Hagg, the Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania native. His first career interception, and Army West Point will take over on Drummond's first pick of the year.
How can you help but smile looking at this replay again? The freshman getting his first real meaningful playing time, and then also catching a ball right into his hands, getting a good return as well. Just makes you truly happy to watch this.
Always great to see when a player able to make their mark, their first big play in their career, and that right there for Ryan Hagg. Can't really blame Drummond at all on that pass play. That sort of worked out exactly as designed as a handoff. Here goes to number 49, Coleman Brook. His first touch of the day and runs up the middle for a good gain on first down. Clearly the idea on that play there, Ross, Drummond chucking it as far as he can, hoping his man could make a play there and ultimately just turn into an arm punt. Bobbled snap there by Ryder, able to save it on the handoff to Brook. But he's tripped up in the backfield. Nice play made in the backfield there by Shea Malarkey. He's had a nice day defensively for the Lions. Look to be DiGiovanni in there to help as well. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the Army 33. Ryder rolling out to the near side. His pass low. Intended for number 81, Cyrus Yarpeshkan. And Army West Point will go 3 now. We'll punt it back to Molloy with 7:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. A rare punt today for Army on offense.
There's a lot going on that's really great for the Black Knights. Jeff Ryder, as we've mentioned, gets his first time playing QB for the Black Knights. But like I want to say again, with Ryan Hagg on his first interception, he's a plebe, he's a freshman, he's been at West Point for 7 weeks now. It's a stressful time for anyone, especially the newcomers. So it's truly awesome to get to see him make his first mark. I know he's not going to forget that ever.
Diving fair catch called for by Jalen Gordon at the 30-yard line. Nice punt there by Perrine. And Molloy will take over here with just over 7 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Molloy back out on offense. See what they decide to do here. Drummond back out there, pistol formation. Take the snap, handoff up the middle. It's Downs, the ball carrier. Trips over his lineman's feet. Just shy of the 35-yard line, a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Molloy now after that last drive, under a yard per carry as a team here today, and that credit to the Army defensive line. They have just controlled the line of scrimmage really on both sides today. Army a 42-0 lead. Again, a pistol formation here for the Lions. Bunch of the line of scrimmage. They hand it off to Downs, trying to cut towards the left tackle. And Army able to get the late pressure. Ball came out at the tail end. Ball was already blown dead. Estevez and Belleville on the stop. So 3rd down upcoming for the Lions. They'll give them a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 upcoming from the 35-yard line. Actually, they'll spot it at the 36, so 3rd down and 4.
Great to see Escobar and John Belleville in there, the 2 freshmen for their first time playing as a Black Knight as well.
Molloy 3 of 14 on 3rd down. See what Army does here. Back to pass. Drummond Moving right, looking to fire it deep down the right sideline. He's got his man. He finds Von Schonermark deep down the right sideline, and a huge gain on third down for the Lions to move the sticks and put the ball deep in Army territory.
Drummond's been trying to get that play going all night, as we see on this replay. Perfectly placed ball, perfect catch on a linebacker coverage there. Good job exploiting that matchup difference there by Drummond to finally connect on a deep route, which he's been trying to hit almost all night.
Longest pass play of the game for the Lions. Now they've got 1st and 10 at the Army 30-yard line. Trying to break up this shutout here. And they're going to lose 5 yards on a false start. Look to be number 50, Alex, missing the guilty party there, the left guard. And so Molloy will be charged with their 6th penalty of the ball game. So it'll be 1st and 15 back at the 35. And you see missing the shuffle of the feet there. Hand off. Up the middle, it's Downs. Able to move the pile a little bit. Back towards the original line of scrimmage. Will be 2nd down and 11. Ball at the Army 31-yard line. Pace of play is certainly slowed down here in this 3rd quarter. Army in command, a 42-0 lead. 5 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground. Molloy, best scoring opportunity, a missed field goal in the final seconds of the first half. Drummond, they hand it off. Downs, patient up the middle towards right tackle. Will be brought down at about the 27. Maybe a 4-yard gain there. This will be 3rd down. We're looking at 7 or 8 to get for the Lions here inside 4 to go in the 3rd quarter. Be 3rd and 7 officially at the 27. Four down territory here inside the 30-yard line. Drummond hands it off up the middle, Downs, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. John Belleville on the stop. And it'll be 4th down and 6. They'll give him a gain of 1 on the play. And now decision time for Molloy once again. Do they keep the offense out there? Maybe try another field goal attempt, but Molloy 0 for 1 on 4th down today. Will keep their offense out on the gridiron.
Skilled young linebacker Belleville on the last tackle, like you just mentioned as well.
4th down and 6 from the Army 26. In shotgun, Drummond looks right, throws over the middle, and a diving catch is made by Washington. Vaughn Washington had just enough reach to grab that one and pick up the 1st down, and Molloy a 4th down conversion to keep the drive alive. Waited on that slant pattern, nearly able to break it up there was Otto Leon. But a great catch there by Vaughn Washington. Only had 1 reception all season coming into play today. But now 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the Army 17. Pistol formation. Handed off to Downs running left, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage again. A good tackle on the lower body there by John Belleville.
John, good job there. Tackle for loss. Maybe even a little short gain. Good job playing the sideline there, not letting the running back break contain there.
Give him 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9 from the Army 16. Under 2 minutes to go now in this 3rd quarter. Molloy trying to break up the shutout. In shotgun, Drummond. Gordon across the formation. They hand it off to him. Racing out of the far sideline. Initial hit by McCardle, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Donahue and Estevez were there as well. Well, that was great pressure on the line of scrimmage to force Gordon further into the backfield and had nowhere to operate offensively. Be a loss of 1, and it'll be back to 3rd and 10 at the 17.
A chance for this number 2 defensive group for the Black Knights to get a big stand here. I would assume that Lions would go for it on 4th down so they can get 2 stops here. Be big for the Black Knight defense.
1 minute to go in the third quarter. Pistol formation. Back to pass Drummond. They bring pressure. Pass over the middle complete. That's to Von Schonermark. Estevez brings him down along with Brunings. And so fourth down upcoming for Molloy. Picked up about half of what they needed to get on third down. So 34 seconds to go. It was a gain of 4. It'll be fourth down and 6 at the Army 13-yard line. Molloy already has one fourth down conversion on this drive. Black Knights trying to keep the Lions scoreless into the fourth quarter. Dixon to the left. The quarterback in shotgun. They bring pressure. Drummond hits. Ball comes out. Scramble for it on the floor. Still loose. Recovered by Molloy and by Dixon. But it'll be a turnover on downs as Army forces the mistake. Once again, the pressure from Joe Sess's defense. A rare blitz tonight from the Army front. But Drummond forced to panic. Could not hold on to the football. Molloy ultimately recovers the fumble. But the Black Knights will take over on the fourth down miscue.
Curtis there on the strip sack. Great defensive pressure there, like you said. Another fourth down stop on a blitz play. Even though the score is up 5 touchdowns, it's great to see the confidence boosters given to the second-tier defense for the Black Knights.
8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ryder on a little sweep pass going to the near side at Yarpeshkan. And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter as he picks up a nice gain on first down. Army West Point adds another to their ledger. This on a touchdown run by Gabe Bolivar. We head to the fourth quarter. The home opener for the Black Knights in 2025 going swimmingly. Army West Point 42, Molloy University nothing. This is CSFL football on Night Vision from YouTube. Fourth quarter about to get underway here from Shea Stadium in West Point, New York. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. Army 42, Molloy nothing. Black Knights in their home opener. Army trying to win their 10th consecutive game, dating back to last year. Molloy, on the other hand, trying to make it back-to-back wins, but a steep hill to climb as we start the fourth quarter. Hand off to Coleman Brook running right, and he'll pick up and up for the first down. And Army moves the sticks at their own 32-yard line here early in this fourth quarter. Army at a 35-0 lead at the half. Got a touchdown run from Gabe Bolivar to open the scoring in the second half. Nothing else since then. High snap. Ryder brings it in. Handoff to Brook up the middle, out across the 40, and tripped up shy of the 45-yard line. Longest run of Coleman Brook's young college career. Freshman from Bothell, Washington. Had one carry in the season opener against Chestnut Hill. Another handoff to Brook up the middle. And it is a quick tackle there by Malarkey, native of Long Beach, New York. Short gain there. Will be about second down and 8 to the Black Knights. A little more than a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter. Army outgaining Molloy 414 to 120 so far tonight. Looks like Molloy's getting their backup quarterback ready in the bullpen. Ryder, deep pass over the middle. He's got his man. Wide open is Colin Teschke, and he's into the end zone for an Army touchdown. Jeff Ryder and Colin Teschke combine on their first career touchdowns. And with 13:36 to go, Army West Point has a 48-0 lead. What a strike from Ryder to Teschke.
Jeff Ryder, not even on the team a year ago, but tried out, wanted a shot to be on the team. Now he's got his first career touchdown pass. Great pass, wide open receiver. Touchdown, fourth quarter for the Black Knights. First one for Jeff.
And another situation for Molloy defensively where a receiver in the slot just running a straight fly pattern up the middle, and nobody picked him up as he crossed into the secondary for Molloy. As the PAT from Cueto up and good, and Army takes a 49-0 lead. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Army continues to go to that well. Little RPO, fakes the handoff, and nobody paying attention to Colin Teschke. I know he hadn't had a catch in his season coming into play today, but somebody needed to cover number 88 in black and gold. And Teschke, who had a tackle, had a kickoff last week against Chestnut Hill, now has a reception and a touchdown on this Friday night.
Now, number 49, that running back, Coleman Brook, did not get any points on the board in that stanza from that last drive, but keep in mind the workhorse he was doing, extra kudos are deserving to him, running right behind that junior center, that is Ryan Benedict, paving a way through that A gap with their two guards there. Great job by Brook.
Brook averaging 5 yards a carry today. Army 124 yards on the ground as a team. Talk about the difference in this game. Army averaging over 10 yards per play as a team. Molloy just a smidge over 2 yards per play. Perrine will let it fly. Deep kick retrieved there back near the goal line by Gordon. Gordon on the return. Tremendous effort by Army special teams unit. And Gordon's going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line. Army West Point swarming to the football there. Tremendous effort. Looked like Griffin Buss, one of the guys putting the pressure on Gordon out towards the near sideline. That's what you love to see if you're Lieutenant Colonel Mark West, is that doesn't matter who they've brought into the game at any point. Offense, defense, special teams, everybody full tilt here with just 13 and a half minutes left to go. Looks like it'll be a call to the bullpen here for Molloy in this fourth quarter. Paulie Drummond, the fifth day is done. They will bring in the backup Louis Roca, the sophomore from Blue Point, New York. He'll take over at quarterback here with 13 and a half to go. Drummond 16 for 31, 94 yards of pick through the air today. Not sure what happened there, but maybe a false start, legal substitution on Molloy, because they are going the wrong direction. They are pushed back to the 8-yard line. It's first down and 15. Not the way you want to start with your backup quarterback under center. They hand it off up the middle, Downs. And Downs goes down almost immediately. Nothing cooking there. It'll be second down and 15 back to the 8-yard line. Army in complete command so far tonight. Molloy, on the other hand, start looking ahead to next week. They will play next Saturday on the road against Chestnut Hill. That'll be next Saturday night, 6 o'clock start on the road. Army will be back here at home next Friday night. Another 7 o'clock start here on KnightVision from YouTube. They take on Penn. The Quakers coming to town here in 2025. Roca under center. Second down and 15. Hand off up the middle again to Downs. Maybe a short gain out to the 10-yard line. Donahue and Aramita on the stop. Army starting unit going to be very rested. Army has had their first unit on offense basically sit the entire second half. Their first unit on defense was basically sitting since the midway point of the second quarter.
I'd love to see junior defensive line 96 right there, Nick Aramita. That's a guy who started out as a rugby player, so he's totally fine to get down in the deep trenches there of the D-line. Great linebacker, defensive lineman that is, for the Black Knights.
Very familiar with this area of campus, the rugby complex just a little bit further down the road to our left. Into the end zone, Roca fires it out near side looking for Washington. Incomplete as he's hit. And it'll be 4th down and 13 back at their own 10-yard line. And the time for Brian Hughes to bring the punting unit back out onto the field. Got a tortilla blanket here tonight. Right now, Army West Point has sort of put Molloy all wrapped up in that tortilla tonight. It has been a completely dominant performance. Who knows, maybe that'll impact my dinner decisions as we get out of here later on tonight. Maybe a trip to Taco Bell on the way back to Brooklyn. Punt a little bit short, takes a couple of bounces, and Army decides to just let it roll. As opposed to picking it up, it'll roll all the way down back towards the Army 40-yard line. Interesting decision there from Caleb McGarity, junior from San Antonio. But in a 49-point game, that mistake or decision certainly not going to come back and burn the Black Knights all too much, as the offense will come back out onto the field. And it looks like we are going to see another call to the bullpen here.
It's going to be Max.
Max Sinkovich going to take over at quarterback for the Black Knights, the freshman from Tempe, Arizona. Handoff up the middle. And spinning his way forward is Douglas Jarvie, a freshman from Dexter, New York, on his first career carry. So Sinkovich and Jarvie each making their debuts here tonight. A chance for Mark West to get pretty much everybody who's healthy on this roster some playing time here tonight. A chance to get their feet wet in their home stadium. Play blown dead right before it snapped. It looked like a false start against the Black Knights. At least that was the initial signal. And indeed it was. That is something that is not going to make Lieutenant Colonel West all too thrilled. The Black Knights at their 8th penalty today. We backed up 2nd down and 12 at their own 37-yard line. A great day for Jeff Ryder, especially when you consider his first pass was picked off. This one fired over the middle by Sinkovich. Nobody home there. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Black Knights. The Ryder 6 of 8, 118 yards, a touchdown. Not too bad for his first day really being able to sling it as a quarterback here at the collegiate level.
I know Coach West is super pleased to get to see all 3 of his quarterbacks play. I can tell you, though, he's going to want, as you could imagine, cleaning up these penalties, cleaning up these simple mistakes, especially those 15-yarders that hurt you in a big game.
Jarvie motions out of the backfield, a screen pass to the near side. He's got Prescora, and he'll be brought down shy of the marker. Good job by Das to get to the football. Ryan Tropp was there to make the stop as well. First career catch for Alexander Prescora, the freshman from Lapeer, Michigan. An Army now with 4th down and about 4 at their own 45-yard line, and up by 49. They're going to bring out Alex Perrine to punt it away. Back at his own 30-yard line. Ball spotted at the 45. Perrine will let it fly. A high arcing kick. Takes a Molloy bounce back towards the 20. And touchdown there by number 88, Colin Teschke. Already has a touchdown today, so Molloy will take over with 10:49 to go. Down 49-0, another opportunity for Brian Hughes' squad to break up this shutout. Right now, you're this Army defense, Ross. What are you trying to tell them? We're heading back out on the field here. Really 11 minutes left to go. Try and finish off another shutout.
My mind goes first to reiterate, there's only 7 seniors on this squad. There's so many freshmen, so many sophomores, so this is key time. They get over an entire quarter to play together, to build bonds together. This is the time they learn to focus on the fundamentals and then to watch the film after tonight to learn what they can do from here on.
Lewis Roca back under center, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Looked to be Dixon, the ball carrier. And runs into a brick wall of Black Knight defenders. Aiden Lassard there to make the stop for the Black Knights. Nothing cooking there on first down for the Lions. Lassard, the freshman from Leavenworth, Kansas. That's also the difference. You talk about the roster sizes here. Is Molloy University, a small school out on Long Island, their entire roster New York natives. The difference between a school like Molloy and Army is Army's recruiting from all 50 states and even into U.S. territories. So you've got a much bigger roster base to work with. You got guys from Idaho and Wyoming and Texas and New York and New Jersey, from the East Coast to the West Coast to the Southwest to the Northwest to the Midwest, everywhere in between. A little bit easier to recruit when you've got that big of a talent pool to work from. And so many of these players were high school football players back in the day. 1 yard gain there, 2nd down and 9 at the 19. Actually, 3rd and 9 at the 19.
On top of that, everyone at West Point is going to be athletic just to get into the academy. So you have someone like Jeff Ryder, wasn't even included here as a quarterback. You have someone, since everyone here is such good athletes, you can pull from anywhere, can add to the depth of your roster even more.
Roca's pass near side, incomplete. Off the hands of his intended target, looked to be Matt McCall, the intended receiver. Actually, rather, that pass off the hands of Wilbert Spell III. Hit put on there by Lucas Estevez, Jersey native. Yeah, that's something that folks who aren't involved, who aren't around the academies, sort of don't realize, is that every cadet, male, female, or otherwise, have to be involved in some sort of athletic endeavor during their tenure here at the academy. This is a beautiful punt. Army on the return. McGarity from just beyond the 30-yard line. He's got room out across the 40, 45, 40. Tries to get to the sideline and is finally spun out of bounds inside the Molloy 40-yard line. What a return there from Caleb McGarity, the San Antonio kid, putting Molloy into the blender there on the return. And Army with outstanding field position with just over 9 minutes to go.
Now we can see Max come out with his second drive now. Set up with great field position as we see this replay. Tremendous speed, tremendous agility there, juking past many defenders there. Now we get to see the freshman Max come out. And like we've said before, West Point has such good athletes. They get to pull from other players. One of the hardest things Coach West has to do is cut players.
Ball fumbled there. Army picks it up off the turf. And great job by Sinkovich to turn nothing into something there on that play after the ball was muffed. Able to get it out to the near sideline, pick up at least a couple of yards on first down. 2nd down and long inside the Molloy 25-yard line. Army also bringing in Davion Johnson for the first time today. As Sinkovich again trying to get to the outside will once more pick up plus yardage. About 3 yards there on 2nd down. Should be about 3rd and 5 from the 20-yard line for Army with 8.5 minutes left to go. But yeah, all these players, all these cadets have to be involved in some athletic endeavor, whether it be playing an actual official team sport here at West Point or potentially playing intramural sports here, as another snap muffed there by Sinkovich. And able to just fall back on top of it here. It'll be 4th down for Army. Behind the sticks with under 8 minutes left to go. That snap a little wobbly there. Number 73, Logan Defoe. Pressure brought there by DeSalvo. Bringing into that play, but Army with 49-point lead, going to bring the offense out for 4th down and 14. And Army will call a timeout with 7:41 to go. That is Army's first charge timeout of the second half. They have 2 timeouts remaining, but going back to our point and talking about so many of these players are not only just asked to participate in athletic endeavors, many of them at times play other sports and things like that. We've already mentioned it. Jeff Ryder wasn't on the team last year, came over now on the team as a sophomore. McGarity, you just saw, had that incredible return, the ability to put his foot in the grass and make a defender miss, really juked a defender out of his shoes, looking like Allen Iverson on a basketball court there. Well, McGarity, he's a junior. He wasn't on the team the last 2 years. Coming in, immediately making an impact. We saw him have a huge defensive play earlier in the game, breaking up a pass. Now on the return, sending, look at number 26. His knees hitting the dirt as McGarity put him into juke mode there. But that is a huge reason for why this program is so successful. Sinkovich flushed out of the pocket, flings it deep left side, looking to get it to Davion Johnson, but incomplete. A little bit short intended of his target. And Molloy will take over as Army gives it up on downs here. With 7:34 remaining. Just shy of the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour here in the East. Alongside Ross Graham, I'm Justin Rock. Glad to have you with us. CSFL football, Night Vision from YouTube. Army a 49-0 lead in their 2025 home opener. Army had a 35-0 lead at the half. A couple of touchdowns here in the second half. A Gabe Bolivar touchdown run. Jeff Ryder a long touchdown pass. 55 yards to Colin Teschke. Now Molloy will take over after the turnover on downs. Roca still a quarterback. Number 12 in white and maroon. Hand off up the middle, Dixon. And he's going nowhere. Army's defensive front, doesn't matter, first, second, third team, they have been getting the pressure all night. Otto Leon was the one there who made the play, and he's been a guy who has been around the ball a lot so far tonight. Starting to see who will be the next crop of superstars on this Army West Point defense, whether it be later this year or in the years to come.
A great luxury Coach West has, which he would say is one of the hardest things. He starts off with around 35 freshmen that try out, which he has to make those cuts. I know so many teams like Molloy would love that problem to be in. So how awesome is it that you get to pick and choose from some of the best athletes here.
Roca rolling left, and gets walloped there. Back at the 30-yard line. What a hit by Ace Robinson. That's his second stellar play today. We saw him make a great tackle on special teams earlier, and now just putting a wallop on the backup quarterback, Lewis Roca. Whew. Ace lowering the shoulder pads, just driving right into the hip of Lewis Roca. Robinson's only listed at 5'8", but playing large there. Third down at 10 at the Molloy 30-yard line. Well, RPO and really nothing cooking. 1 yard in a cloud of dust for Marquise Dixon, the native of the Bronx. And now Molloy with 4th down and long, deep inside their own territory. And certainly looks like punting unit going to come back out on the field for the Lions. So many impressive performances today. Ace Robinson, just the latest, making an impact in the late stages of this contest. Molloy letting the play clock run down. They'll snap it with 3. Stosko lets it fly. Fair catch called for by McGarity. And he will snag it at the 32-yard line. We'll mark it at the 31. And that's where Army will take over with 5:15 remaining, leading 49-0. Reminder, busy day of Army sports coming up tomorrow. Of course, earlier today, Army women's volleyball, a big victory on the road against Holy Cross. And the fans starting to serenade a little bit. The Molloy crowd here as handoff on the jet sweep. Blake McKenna with his first career touch. Freshman from Plano, Texas, knocked out of bounds after a 2-yard gain there on first down. Men's hockey played a scrimmage exhibition game over at Tate Rink today against LIU. Then coming up tomorrow, big day, men's soccer be in action, women's soccer in action. That handoff up the middle. And nothing cooking for Douglas Jarvie as Joseph Spano makes the stop. Bring up 3rd down and long for the Black Knights. But Army football at UAB, noon kickoff tomorrow on ESPNU. Coverage on the Varsity Network app with Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, Tony Marino and company. I'll have the pregame coverage for you early in the morning tomorrow. Sinkovich pitches it out far side to Jarvie. Out across the 35 where he's knocked down. DiGiovanni with the stop. That'll bring up 4th down for Army. Women's volleyball taking on Colgate at 4 o'clock tomorrow on the road in Hamilton, New York. Army men's hockey on the road. On the road tomorrow, 5 o'clock, their season opener against Union. Women's soccer be over at Clinton Field, Malik Stadium tomorrow night, 6 o'clock start. And then Army men's soccer on the road against Bucknell tomorrow at 7 o'clock. All those games can be found on the ESPN family of apps. Good punt there by Perrine. Fielded and falling down at the 20-yard line is Gordon. That's where Molloy will take over with 3:19 to go. Just matter of dotting the I's, crossing the T's over these final 180, I guess maybe about 199 seconds, I believe is my math, of time left to go here tonight. That's the extent of my math skills. As Molloy back out on offense here. Army West Point has been in command of this game since their second offensive drive. Black Knights outgained Molloy 483 to 130. Lewis Roca back, taking the snaps at quarterback. They hand it off up the middle. And Ryan Downs collects a cloud of dust. Small pickup on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and long. Now with just over 3 minutes left to go. But a busy weekend of Army sports. Of course, all that coming up tomorrow. And then less busy Sunday. And a whole slew of tennis matches coming up on Sunday morning and afternoon. 2nd down and 9 from the 22-yard line. They hand it off across the formation to number 6, Wilbert Spell. And Spell brought down number 39, Anthony Paradiso, a freshman from St. Cloud, Florida. 3rd down upcoming for Molloy. Spell, guy listed as quarterback on the Molloy roster, now moving over towards a wide receiver spot out of Oakland Gardens, New York. 3rd down and 8 from the 23 as we will head towards the 2-minute timeout here in the 4th quarter. Both teams will head off to their respective sidelines here, as it is just a matter of moments away from the final horn on this Friday night from Shea Stadium. A reminder, Army West Point back here a week from tonight, Friday, October the 10th, as they welcome Penn, longtime CSFL foe, to town. 7 o'clock kickoff right here on KnightVision from YouTube. As for Molloy University, they'll stay on the road. They'll travel to Pennsylvania to face off against Chestnut Hill. That coming up next Saturday night. 6 o'clock start on the road against Chestnut Hill. So Army at home against Penn a week from today. Molloy on the road a week from tomorrow.
Someone could see the score of 49-0 and get discouraged by Molloy, but I know for all the Molloy fans watching, this is a tough team. They've improved a lot. They're resilient. They show great grit. Their coaching staff has improved a lot. They're in a challenging situation, but they've showed out. They showed their heart, and they really are a great team. It's just a young team, but has so much room to blossom coming forward.
Just a matter of buffing out some defensive miscues, particularly lapses in coverage on deep passes. Roca rolling left, throws left, and that pass knocked down and incomplete. A 34, Reed Hissel was there in coverage, native of McKinney, Texas. Now 4th down and 8 with 1:53 left to go. And this Molloy team has a lot to look forward to. Entered play today off their first win in program history, a 16-6 victory against Cornell. They played tight on the road against St. Thomas Aquinas in their season opener, a 14-13 loss. So look at the rest of their schedule. Still plenty of victories potentially on the docket for Molloy. As a little bit of a fake punt maybe here, as rolling out and then letting it fly off his left foot was Timmy Stasko. It does go out of bounds along the far sideline with 1:43 remaining. So Stasko, a little bit of a rugby punt there. Army West Point will take over right around midfield with 1:43 remaining. Army has 2 timeouts. Molloy has all 3, but I'd have to imagine both teams will be very content to let those timeouts sit in their pocket until the final buzzer sounds. Sinkovich back out at quarterback. Army with the ball at their own 42-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Darian Johnson, the ball carrier, or Davion Johnson, the ball carrier, excuse me, out of Evanston, Illinois. His first career carry picks up a pair. Now 90 seconds to go, 2nd down and 8. Army going to improve to 2-0 on the year, win their 10th consecutive game dating back to last year. Molloy will fall to 1-2, including 1-2 in division. This will be Army's first in-division win of the season. Although it doesn't quite matter as much now that there is no more league championship game, just best overall record at season's end. As Johnson again takes the handoff up the middle. The 3rd down and short with under a minute to go. And Black Knights looking for one more move of the sticks so they can break off from the sideline and start the handshake line between the two sides. Under 40 seconds to go. Really, no matter what happens here, barring a Molloy timeout, this should be the last play of the game. Sinkovich, low snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson up the middle, trying to push his way forward towards the sticks. Be brought down at midfield to be just shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be 4th down upcoming with 15 seconds to go. Army doesn't need to run another play. Molloy doesn't seem inclined to call a timeout. And Army West Point once again will close out their home opener in impressive fashion. Your final score tonight from Shea Stadium. The Army West Point Black Knights 49 and the Molloy University Lions nothing. Army West Point, their 10th consecutive victory dating back to last year, and they do it in dominant fashion. 49-0 at your final today, as the Black Knights offense does a tremendous job at gaining over 480 yards of total offense in this contest. Had a 35-0 lead at the half. And the Black Knights able to empty their bench in this contest and really get everybody who is healthy into the fray, and really just an overall impressive team performance tonight, Ross.
Impressive is a great word, Justin. I know Coach West, Coach Wick, Coach Sessa, Coach Sala, all these coaches are going to go back, look at this film. There's stuff to improve on, as there always is. But you cannot help but smile, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for another win, another home win. Go home, enjoy this victory, celebrate with your family, celebrate with your team. Another great night of Army football here.
Couple final thoughts, Ross. Looking back after their first game of the season against Chestnut Hill, a hard-fought win on the road, 27-21. You have the bye week last week. Come back at home this week to open up the home schedule from week 1 to week 3 today in this home opener. Where have you seen the most improvement on this Black Knight team?
I've seen the most improvement with this young offense start to click with one another. I think the routes are snappier. I think the quarterback connection with his younger receivers, especially the freshmen, is beautiful. I think getting to be back at home in front of your home fans on your home field also makes great impact as well.
Black Knights down on the field getting ready for the playing of the West Point alma mater, a tradition after every home game here at Shea Stadium, whether it be after wins or losses. Molloy following suit. So we will send it down to the field for the playing of the West Point alma mater. That always the goal of the black and gold. Beat Navy, that the rallying cry. Ross, one final question for you. Obviously, penalties, a big storyline tonight, something the Black Knights want to clean up ahead of next week against Penn, but other areas you can see this team trying to improve going into a matchup against a long-time CSFL foe and the Penn Quakers next Friday.
Yes, I think one other area of improvement that will be harped upon this week in practice is just a little bit more of the offensive line moving together as a unit to ensure the offensive running back game is going to improve a little bit more against more tougher opponents down the line.
Army West Point celebrating as they always do, singing into on the brave old Army team as the Black Knights control it tonight from start to finish. Your final score, Army West Point 49 and Molloy University nothing. For our producers, Michael Tornillo, Zach Hoover, and as always for my partner Ross Graham and our entire camera and TV crew behind the scenes, I'm Justin Rock saying so long from Shea Stadium and West Point, New York. Again, your final, Army West Point 49, Molloy University nothing. We hope you'll join us again next Friday, 7 o'clock, as Army West Point takes on the Penn Quakers in Game 2 of our home schedule. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday night, everybody. Have a fabulous weekend. So long from West Point, New York. Beautiful, beautiful.
I'll see you next Friday.
I'll see you next Friday, Ross. Appreciate you, brother.